If you're tired of hearing the same old basic mindset and motivational fluff talk, you've come to the right show. Welcome to Project Me with Tiffany Carter, the podcast, where we dish on everything from managing that crazy brain of yours to manifesting abundance to my straightforward, actionable steps that will make you major money online. Now, I'm not your typical multimillionaire entrepreneur. It takes a small village to keep my anxiety and depression in check. I'm inherently disorganized with an intense obsession with office supplies. Your girl here is a digital marketing content expert who's generated over $200 million in sales. I promise by tuning in twice a week, you will get a much needed refreshing dose of truth, clarity, and cash-making advice. Now let's get to it. What up, my people, my posse, my fellow crazies? I mean, really, I couldn't be happier that we are in a new moon and a new eclipse, because whatever was happening last time was not fun. However, Mercury is in retrograde, and not that I'm an expert in this stuff, but it affects communication, technology, misunderstandings, a combination of all of them. And I've had a lot of wild stuff go on in all those areas. And whether it's because of Mercury in retrograde or not, we're going to use that. We're going to go with that one. I wanted to record this episode for you because it's so easy when you are dreaming up an idea to start a business or another business, or to kind of decide if you're going to stop toe dipping, which I know you might be a toe dipper, because it's very common. I toe dipped for a long time for this business, Project Me with Tiffany Carter, the coaching business and the podcast, before I went in, 10 years, in fact. So it's like you're deciding, do I go all in? Do I double down? Do I quit my job? All those things. Do I have what it takes? And the self-doubt comes in, because I know you want it, or you wouldn't even be listening to this show unless you just are wildly entertained by me, which I hope that's kind of true. You wouldn't be listening if you didn't have a dream on your heart, and maybe you haven't pinpointed it yet. Maybe you're not sure exactly what it is you want to do, but you know you want a different life for yourself. You want to be making money on your own terms, on your own time, with your own schedule, in your own way. You know you want to use all of your knowledge, your experience, your natural gifts, your learned gifts for the greater good of the world. And you want to be able to be compensated for it. Or maybe you want to take your business to the next level so you can have a different lifestyle for yourself and create that for you, your family, your loved ones. And there are 4 requirements of starting and scaling a successful online business. And these are not ones you've heard in the God knows how many personal development books you've read. I mean, I had an entire library. Have you guys noticed? I mean, not that there are that many like real life bookstores anymore, which sucks, because I love me a bookstore. I mean, I just love the smell of books. But there is a library, the Manhattan Beach Library. I call it the Billionaires Library. I have to show you guys on Instagram stories this library. It is like an art piece, and there's like $1 million art pieces inside. This is the most unnecessary use of taxpayers' funds. And I'm all about having a proper library, but this has gone to a whole nother level. I have to show it to you. But I mean, when was the last time you dropped your kids off at the library? I've really been in a library. You know, it's kind of sad. But my point is, remember when the personal development section was called self-help? Well, I don't know if you noticed this, but they've taken self-help out of it, and it's labeled as personal development. I found that really interesting, and I like that they changed that. And here's why. And I had this great conversation with a dear friend of mine, Anna, who's going to be on the podcast talking about toxic friendships, toxic relationships. And she cringes. She hates when she hears people say self-help or you can heal yourself, because it makes people think that you're doing it wrong when you can't get out of a funk. You can't stop procrastinating. You can't get out of your own way. You can't dig yourself out of feeling distracted all the time and feeling anxious. There must be something wrong with me. And that self-help term absolutely fed into that, where I should just be able to buy a book. Or like me, I bought like 100 of them. And if I just read enough, or if I just find the right one, something will magically click for me. Sadly, that isn't how it works. Whether it is for you healing stuff within you in any area of your life, whether it's healing your relationship with money, traumas, your inner child relationships, your relationship with food, your relationship for how you generate money, whether it's, building a business, you cannot do it alone. Don't self-help your business. And I know there are quite a few of you listening, given thousands and thousands of you listen to every single episode. I'm so appreciative of you guys, and I do this show for you. I love doing it, but it's for you. So always feel free to email us or DM me on Instagram with any topic suggestions. Then you'll end up getting a really cool episode around it. Self-helping our dreams, our desires, our business, it ends in failure. I've never seen it turn out well for anybody, including myself. I'm just so relentless and stubborn. And if I didn't have those innate qualities, my first business that I still have today after 14 years, a multi-seven-figure business, I would not have had it if I continued on that self-help path with my business and my relationship with money that I did for 5 years before I got help. That's why it can sound self-serving when I'm like, don't do it alone. Like, you need a highly qualified coach. You need probably more than one coach and a therapist. It can sound self-serving because that's what I do for a living. And if you choose to take it that way, you can, but it's my truth. If I did not invest an uncomfortable amount of money and hire a highly qualified, he didn't call himself a business coach because he's more specializes in the corporate world. It was a business mentorship. But if I hadn't have hired him, he's $10,000 a month. And someone who I felt understood me and my line of work and could really help me. If I did not work with him, I would have quit because I was already at my wit's end. If you're already at your wit's end and you're in just the idea stage, or you're pretty much in the early stages, we have got to get a hold of this really quick because it's not going to be much longer where you're going to throw in the towel. And I don't want to see that because you do have it in you. So here are the 4 requirements straight up that are needed to start and scale a successful online business. Now, you could be a medical professional. You could be a realtor. You could be a coach. You can be in network marketing. You can be a healer. You could be an accountant. You could be someone who has a restaurant. I specialize in helping you get consistent clients and cash online so that you have additional revenue streams that you're making online, utilizing your gifts and your intellectual property, and also to help generate more customers and clients for if you have an in-person business. So it goes both ways. You've never heard these before, so just wait. Number 1, being open and willing to do what it takes to build a life and build a business that works around your ideal life. The reason I'm including your life part separate from business is what I see a lot of people doing is they build a business and kind of like forget about the life part. And now you've created your own self-imposed prison, even though it's your business, where it actually would be easier to go work for someone else at that point, because now you have all the responsibilities, all the liability, all the pressure, and you can't just be like, I'm taking a personal day. I don't want that for you. That was a big mistake I made the first time around. I was willing and open and willing to do whatever it took, but I left the life part out. You're wanting to have a business so that it can give you the freedom that you want, not just the money. So if you have making all the money and you have no freedom to go luxuriate, go take a bath in the middle of the day, at the last minute, take your kids on a Disney trip, extend a vacation another week at a place that you love, then you've not created freedom for yourself. And you're going to end up resenting your business, and then it's going to end up getting reflected eventually in your income, maybe even you getting sick or quitting. So I want you to be open and willing to do what it takes to build a different life, even mindset, in order to be able to have this business be successful and create a whole new lifestyle for you, that one that you love. You're going to have to do inner work deeper than you think. There is nothing more of a mind fuck than starting and growing a business. And any entrepreneur who tells you otherwise either hasn't been doing it long enough, is toe dipping and isn't all in, or is lying to you. There is nothing. And now I don't have my own children, so I can't say it's more than being a parent. But from all of my friends and clients who have kids, they say it is equally as tough in a very different way. It brings up all your insecurities, self-doubt, comparisonitis, lack of patience, fear. And so you have to make sure you're being open and willing. I will do all the work necessary in multiple areas of my life to get there. Number 2, feeling deeply passionate and connected to your idea and your ideal client. If you are not feeling deeply passionate and connected to your idea and the person who's going to end up buying from that idea, whether it's a widget, whether it's a service, whether it's an art piece, whether it's a retreat or an event, if you don't feel deeply passionate and connected to it on all of those days that are tough and you don't feel like it, which P.S., I don't feel like it 70% of the time. We're humans with fluctuating emotions, dramas, personal crap, adulting, hormones, life changes, getting sidewhacked. We have stuff going on all the time. This deep passion and connection to your product, your idea, your offering, and the person who is benefiting from that offering is what's going to get you to show up on your worst days. And you need that. The money, it can sound right now like that'll be enough. I promise you, it won't be enough. It really won't. I mean, how much money have you wasted on crap you've bought? Whether it's a Peloton, an expensive gym membership, even a course or a group coaching program where you put out legit cash and you're not using that piece of workout equipment, or you didn't follow through and finish. This is why money is not enough. It's that deep passion and connection. My passion, yes, I know what every single thing I put together for you guys, all of my offerings, I know the results that are had and people do have from them. I have helped create dozens and dozens and dozens of millionaires and change many people's lives. Even if being a millionaire wasn't their thing, it completely changed their lives. It changed their children's lives, allowed them to spend more time at home. It saved marriages because they were happier, be able to heal, have time to heal traumas that they kept getting pushed aside, healed their bodies and take better care of themselves because they created true freedom, cash, and options to be able to go see holistic practitioners, do things like breath work, go and take time and do things like Pilates or experiment with different stuff because there was additional resources and funds to be able to do so. I have a lot of evidence because I've been coaching a long time, and maybe whatever idea or thing you're doing, you've not done it long enough to have, thousands of testimonials, but the people who you've even helped for free and how that feels. You can sink into yourself and go, even if it's like a product, right? Like, let's say you had an idea for some kind of a product or some kind of an event and no one's ever attended it yet. You can imagine, though, you've got to have a connection for that ideal client that would buy it, that would attend, that would use the thing, that would benefit from the thing. And imagine them leaving with having a life-changing experience, even if their life was improved by just 10%. I've spent tens of thousands of dollars to improve my life by 10%. You're telling me that I could increase my business revenue by 10%? And you're that confident with it as long as I show up and do my part? Honey, I'm here for it. I can shed 10% of my excess weight. No, I'm here for it. Well, as long as I don't have to give up my white cheddar popcorn, which, by the way, I'm back on that again. The lime, the hint of lime Tostitos, I don't know. There's something in there, probably like the chemical laden lime powder. My stomach doesn't like it. I'm not saying I'm giving it up, but I need to give it a rest. That's not working for me. I don't know. I'm a salt person. You might be like a sweet person, have a sweet tooth and want like a chocolate. I want a fucking fry. Give me a goddamn fry. And I'm very particular about my fries. If you're curious, the order is waffle fry is really a strong preference, dipped in honey mustard from Chick-fil-A, if we must say so. So I don't forget, before I get on to number 3 and 4 of the requirements, I have officially opened my summer applications for my private 2-month business coaching program. I only have 4 spots available. I take a maximum of 6 people at a time, but there's 2 people who already got in before I officially opened the applications because they came to me as referrals and were a great fit. So there are 4 spots that are open right now. You can go to the link in my bio on Instagram at ProjectME with Tiffany. You can swipe up. It's in the show notes, or go to my website, ProjectMeWithTiffany.com, under Work With Me. The reason I have you fill out an application is this way I can determine if you're going to get the results that you want and if I'm the best fit for you. Because I don't want to just take your money. That could sound tempting, and it maybe was in the beginning, but it never ends well. And I don't want you guys doing that either. Because if you take on people that you don't feel you can get results for, or it's not a great fit, oof, I've made that mistake. It's not cute. Plus, I want raving testimonials. And after coaching well over 1,500 people privately and well over 100,000 in group settings, 150,000 actually in group settings, I know pretty quickly. So just fill out an application. We can talk about all the things and we'll go from there. Don't wait. These fill up really quickly because I don't always open my private spots, especially when I have other projects going on and there's some pretty cool shit in the works. So you know where to go. All right. Number 3, belief in yourself. Yes, you can roll your eyes at this one. Here's my take on it. I don't believe in myself all the time. I have my days where I'm self-doubt. Can I do this? I mean, hello. I have a book that's 70% done that was written in 2020. We haven't finished it. Why haven't I finished it? 1, discipline, procrastination. But at the root, it's like, is this book really I really want this book to, like, it's like a perfectionism. I want the book to be like freaking amazing. And so I'm being too perfectionistic about it. But I'll start comparing, like, God, look at this person did a book and now they have like 5,000 Amazon reviews. Who am I to do it? You don't have to have belief in yourself all the time. That's not possible. We don't have anything in ourselves all the time. Even when I had 0 self-worth and I did not believe I belonged on this earth and God forgot about me, I didn't hate myself all the time. There were a few days here and there where I actually vibed myself. We're nothing all the time. You don't have to believe in yourself all the time. It's okay to have self-doubt, uncertainty, feeling awkward. That's how it feels. If I said, okay, you've never snowboarded before and you're like, oh, I want to try it. Would you feel total belief in yourself that you're going to be able to hit a double black diamond and you're going to be great at snowboarding if you've never done it and you've never tried it? Of course not. You might hype yourself up before you actually strap that thing on and start going down that bunny hill. But as soon as you start going downhill and it's so unfamiliar and you fall on your ass immediately, you're like, oh, damn, maybe I don't have what it takes. But are you going to get back up again and then fall again? Anyone who's tried snowboarding knows. I mean, I've never had so many bruises in my life. Then you get back up again and you fall again. How bad do you want it? Do you believe that if you kept getting up after falling over and over again, do you believe you would eventually get the hang of it? You would eventually get some results. Do you have a belief in yourself that you'll keep getting up and that you'll trust, which goes to number 4, you'll hire and trust someone to show you how it's done, who already has that expertise. So you're not doing it flailing around, figuring it out, and it taking you 4 years to be able to go down that double black diamond. It could happen as quickly as even 3 months, depending on how much time and energy you put into it and practice you put into it. So number 4 is qualified support. Qualified support is not asking your partner to show you how to board. Unless your partner is a trained, coach or is really experienced in teaching people snowboarding, it's usually not a good idea. It doesn't usually end well. It ends most likely in a fight. And because you can go, I'm done, I don't want to do this anymore. When you have a friend or someone for free helping you, they're going to go, okay, I'm not going to push you. They're not getting paid to hold you accountable and give you that tough love. A lot of you aren't easy to give tough love to. A lot of you aren't. I mean, most of us, when that tough love really stings, man, some of you guys get angry and lash out and are nasty. Some of you ghost people. Some of you ignore people. Some of you completely shut down. Some of you have done enough work where you can hear it out. I cry. That's mine. I go right to crying and shame, and then I have to work through that. But I mean, I have clients who've gotten pissed at me because I'll always tell you with love. I'll tell you the truth in a gentle and loving way. But it's my job to tell you the truth, even though I know you're not going to like it. Is it fun all the time? No, especially when I have some clients who can be assholes. And I tell them that you're going to be an asshole to me after I tell you this. But if I don't tell you, I don't trust that anyone might tell you, because you're actually very difficult to point things out to that you don't like, because you get nasty and you lash out or you ghost. But you're paying me a lot of money, and you're paying me because you trust me to tell you what no one else is telling you. And then they get mad, and then they come back around and make amends, and we go from there. But that qualified support, if you're not willing to get that and you're just doing a free training here, Googling here, I'm not saying those aren't helpful, right? Just like back to the snowboarding analogy, watching YouTube videos on snowboarding for beginners, even, reading tips online or watching TikToks or Instagram videos on snowboarding for beginners and stuff like that. That's all ancillary. That's all great. That's all helpful. But if you don't have someone who's there taking you down a clear process and proven path of how to get the damn thing, I'm not saying you won't get there, but likely is you're going to quit before you get there, because it's going to take you too long. It's going to feel too frustrating. You're going to fall down too many times. You're going to have so many bruises, most likely a broken bone. And then you're going to go, you know what? F this. This is too hard. I don't know how these people are doing it. This isn't worth it to me. And I don't want that for you. So willingness, passion, belief, support, period. It's not that you need multiple degrees. It's not that you need to look a certain way or be a certain age or have even a certain level of confidence. Belief in yourself is very different from having confidence. I know without a doubt that you have all these things in you. You do. You have them in you. And give yourself permission. It's also okay if you're like, you know what? I'm not willing to do those things right now, Tiffany. If you're not, that's okay. Give yourself permission that it's just not now. That doesn't mean not ever. It's just not now. But if you're listening to this, my guess is you really want this. And if you really want it, it's time to get honest with yourself. Are you doing these 4 things? Any of these things that are missing on a regular basis, it's not going to happen. It's not. And I would be honored and privileged to be your guide, be your mentor, share my proven process, get you down that damn bunny hill, then get you down the green diamond, then the blue diamond, then the single black diamond, then the double black diamond. But you can't go from the bunny hill and skip right over to the double black diamond. And I know fantasy thinking, a lot of you want to do that. But that could end in you snapping your neck and slamming into a tree. And on my watch, that's just not going to happen. Wishing you great health, wealth, and worth as always. Love you so much. If you want to show the love back, which you better, go write a damn 5-star written Apple podcast review. You can also do a review on Spotify if that's your preferred listening platform. This is what helps the show grow. I read each and every review. I often showcase them inside my Instagram stories. I don't charge you guys for the show, but the show costs quite a bit of money to produce and my time. I would really appreciate you doing it. If you say you'll do it later, you won't. Take 90 seconds and do it now. If you don't know how, you can literally Google, how do I leave an Apple podcast written review, and the instructions pop up immediately. It's super easy. If you're a fast typer, you could do it in 40 seconds. Leave your name or Instagram handle inside the review if you want, or you can be anonymous. And as long as you send me a DM, tell me you left the review, I see a screenshot of it, I would love to treat you to a coffee or tea drink of your choice as my way of saying thank you for being such a loyal and generous and appreciative listener. If you enjoyed this podcast, please write a 5-star review on iTunes. Not only will this make me super happy, but it will allow more listeners to find our special show. Simply help me help others.